several things, and I didn't, of course, have any idea what Sandy was going to be sharing about tonight, but I also have had mold exposure, and
Wow.
it is not fun. It
Mhm.
sounds like maybe her symptoms were a little worse than mine, but I have suffered a lot. In fact, I am still dealing with some lung issues and respiratory issues, but I'm definitely seeing constant improvement. I'm believing for that, and I'm seeing it. I'm using the glutathione on my chest, and of course, I can share a little more later which patches. But I'm similar to Sandy too. I use them all. But I was dealing with the mold exposure that happened in the summer of 2022. I'm in real estate, and I had shown a very moldy home, and
Oh,
because it's not in our home, thank God. We've been able to test it, and so far it wasn't showing anything there. But my biggest thing that I was interested in when my dear, dear friend Nancy shared them with me and her husband Dennis, I have a fully herniated disc in my low back, my lower lumbar between L5 and S1. And it's very debilitating. Lots of pain, sciatica. Some days couldn't walk. And um, so I was just looking for relief for that. And then also had some other things going on that I hadn't even really noticed. I just kind of got used to some, and that weren't real serious. The doctor said, "Oh, we'll operate if and remove them surgically." But I had two fairly large ganglion cysts on my wrist, um, on each hand, and but probably and of course sinus stuff going on and the headaches, and um, my hair was a lot grayer. And so I guess I'm having a touch of the youth, fountain of youth as well, because it's
yeah.
not as gray anymore. All this is natural now. And I quit doing any coloring or tinting on my hair. But I would say probably that the herniated disc was my biggest health issue. And oh, you know what else? I did have high cholesterol and high triglycerides. A1C was a little high. Um, which can I go ahead and share now that
Yes.
I just had lab work done this week
Yeah.
and they're all down.
Um,
A1C is below the pre-diabetic. It's like 5.4. And then my cholesterol and triglycerides are down more than 40 points each. And yeah, I'm excited that I've had lots of different things, but those were some of the things I was dealing with prior to patching.
oh, wow. 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 Look at, we thought that Sandy had a nice little laundry list there, but you just equated right there with her. I mean, geez, both of you. This is,
And I had a really big scar on my forehead too, that it's virtually gone. And it's been there for like 40 years. I was Jeep riding in the snow and we jumped a ditch and I bumped up and popped my head on the roll bar. No seatbelt back in those days. And so I've had that scar for a long time. It's still there, but it's very light. I've noticed it's practically gone now.
sounds a little bit like Dennis and Nancy there. Dennis had a little, little gash himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So how long have you been on the patches?
Let's see, it was September. It was not long after Nancy and Dennis because they came home from a mountain trip and were sharing the patches with me because they had just been shared with them. And Dennis, they've got their own story to share, but he had had tremendous results. And she said, "Sherry, you and Jay have to find, you've got to take a look at this." And so we watched an hour-long video, and a doctor was on there. I can't remember now who it was, but it was September of 2023, so about 18 months now, and never looked back.
Yes, because
It
you
was
have
Nancy and
found.
Dennis that shared them with us.
Now, when you first started, what were the patches that you were using?
I started out with the X39 and the Eon for inflammation in my low back. And so that was the main thing. I didn't even think about my ganglion cysts or my, blood pressure and cholesterol issues or my scar. None of that. I was just thinking, fix my back. Let's see if
Yeah.
we can fix my back. So I was X39 up, where recommended base of your neck. And then the Eon directly on my low back. I did later switch on, and almost a year later, and I started putting the X because another friend of mine shared, put the X39 on your low back. And as soon as I did, it's just been miraculous. In fact, and again, I don't know if this is the time to share it, but I recently in January, I had an MRI done in 2023. And of course, it showed, full herniation of the disc. And then just this past January, um, my chiropractor did an x-ray and he was comparing the two. He put them up on this little screen, and he says, "I've never seen anything like this." It had healed that much. And I said, well, I don't have the sciatica anymore. I mean, I'm able to walk and stand and, you know, and I told him because my daughter had, she's expecting and she's due May 21st. But also my son and his life partner just had one today. I've got to throw that in there. I'm on cloud nine. I have a new grandson today at 4:23. But anyway, my daughter that's still expecting and not due until May, she was facing shoulder surgery. She had, I don't know if it was a I don't know if it was a torn rotator cuff, but it was something. She had limited to no mobility in her arm at all. And she was upset because she's like, how am I going to hold my new baby? And just was not looking forward to shoulder surgery. So, of course, I said, Amber, let's patch you. Let's try this. You've got to try the patches. And at first, she was, worried about what was in them because she's expecting. And she says, is it okay for pregnant women? And so, anyway, I told her they're non-transdermal and all that good stuff. And so long story short, she patched in within like 3 or 4 days. So she had told our chiropractor when he was asking her on her next visit,
Yeah.
about, he asked, how are you doing? And she just started raising her arm and she's like, I think I'm healed. And he said, really, what have you been doing? Are you, the physical therapy or, because it was such a short time that it healed itself. And she told him, she said, well, I'm wearing these patches. You got to ask my mom about them. And so when he was looking at my x-rays, I said, it's the patches, Dr. Matt. And so anyway, yeah, it's we were
Wow.
thrilled with what we were seeing, just comparing that previous MRI with the current x-ray.
Wow. We thought we heard it all with Sandy. Sherry, wow. You just threw everything at us. And
Oh,
then
can I
now you're
do,
a grandma. Oh
can
my
I,
goodness.
yes, can I share one more quick thing? Because this
Absolutely.
just happened, well, 2 weeks ago, I turned my left ankle stepping off of a sidewalk. And so it started swelling and was in a lot of pain. And so I thought, I before I went to bed that night, I put an Eon patch because I know it's for inflammation. I put the Eon patch on it and went on to bed. And the next morning, woke up, all swelling gone, all pain gone. And my husband and my daughter couldn't believe it. They said, really? Because they had seen it swollen up and saw I could barely walk on it just the night before. Um, and then yesterday, I had said the two ganglion cysts I had were gone. Well, yesterday, I did have a little bit of flare up on this wrist and the knot was there. So I put the Eon patch on it, and within 3 or 4 hours, totally gone again. So I put it on again today, just kind of extra measure. So it's
Yes.
on there. But I mean, it is amazing when how, like Sandy, she's thanking the Lord, she's thanking David Schmidt, and then this technology is amazing. It is miraculous.
Don't
Wow.
forget to tell them about your fatty thing on your arm.
Oh yeah. See, I keep forgetting about all this stuff. I had I think it's called a lipoma right here, a big knot, big, and it's been there for about 30 years. Totally gone now. Can't even find it really. I mean, right, barely. I have to push hard, but before it stood up. I mean, you saw it. I've had people ask me, "What's that?" And but yeah, totally gone now.
Wow. Well, Sherry, this is wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you're getting the healing piece of this whole thing, where your journey started and where you're at today. This is
Yeah.
incredible. And congratulations, by the way.
Well, you made it to the end, and I'm so proud of you. Please subscribe to my channel to learn more. Thanks so much.